This thing still work. I'll wipe the dust off of here. Oh, hey everybody. I guess I've remembered how to use this thing. It's been a while. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. You're watching Cloud Country. If this is the first time tuning in, I appreciate you checking out the channel. I know, well, the old elephant in the room. It's been a while since I posted a video. But hopefully for some good reason. If you've been following the channel, you'll see in my last video, if you go back quite a few months, I introduced our daughter Riley. She was born last February, and if we're looking at the calendar now, we're coming up to pretty much a year. So it's been a whole year since I've been a dad, and it's been great. So of course, with new responsibilities being taken on, I still wanted to keep going with this addition, but I had to slow up on one thing, and it happened to be some filming. Now that I'm back into the swing of things though, hopefully I get back to some filming and keep you up to date with how the addition is going. But for now, I thought I'd do a couple month update and show you where we're at. In the last video, I was working on the timber frame. I didn't get much farther than that. I got some stain on it. There's still a little bit of stonework to do. I'm going to save that for the summer coming up. But for now, it is middle of January. I have the addition all closed up. Got some insulation in here, and I'll take you for a little tour. Here we go. So I'll try to hit these steps somewhat in order of the progress of the addition over the summer. Of course, in the last video, I had the timber frame out front. I wanted to clean up the front of the house a little bit. So I got the timber frame done, put in a big rock garden in the center of the driveway, did some landscaping, and then I got the shop out back. So I did some cleanup, worked on a couple cars, did a few odds and ends. So some of that stuff that I probably wouldn't film too much anyway, but that was kind of most of the summer on top of the new dad duty. And then once we started getting into the fall, I wanted to get into the addition again. I think the last video inside of here, I was doing some of the framing. So of course that was the next step to carry on with it and finish it off. There is quite a bit of work involved. You have all these angles all the way up behind me here, cutting everything on an angle and going through and double checking and make sure spacings are right and room dimensions are right. So that took a couple weeks there to get all the framing done. Then of course, once the framing is done, the next step would be to do electrical, HVAC, and plumbing. So in Ontario, a homeowner can do their own wiring as long as you pull the proper permit and get the proper inspections. So this place I was able to wire myself. Of course, you have to follow the Canadian code with that, all the local codes, all the building codes and stuff, and then the inspector would come out and he walked over this house and was actually quite happy with it. So got approved on his first visit, so that is good. So the rough-in electrical is all approved, and the rough-in is all the outlets and smoke detectors and lights and switches. So any of the electrical that's going to be hidden in the walls, all the wiring has to be there, but not tied into the electrical panel yet. So once I got all the wiring in and everything's run, the next step I did was the plumbing, maybe slightly backwards. Here, from what I hear, is you're supposed to go from the biggest pipe to smallest pipe, so I should have started with HVAC and then go to plumbing. But in a case like this, I was planning it all out myself. So you can see I have the toilet flange and the wash basin drain, and then there's the vents. So what the vents do is they allow the water to go down and air to come in. In a typical sink, you'll have that trap underneath. So that trap is not there to trap dirt, even though that's what it traps, is dirt and hair and everything. It is there to hold water in that trap so the sewer gases don't come back up. So if this stuff wasn't vented, like over here for my toilet, if it wasn't vented, all that rush of water coming down from your toilet going through to your septic or to the main sewer line, all of that rush of water is going to pull a vacuum, and it needs to pull fresh air from somewhere, or it's going to keep pulling more water, which is going to dry out your traps, and then you're going to get a sewer gas. So if you ever wonder why the houses have some of this black ABS pipe sticking out the roof, that would be a vent for your plumbing. Some houses have more than one. In this case, the addition will have one, and our house, the main house, actually has two to handle the upstairs bathroom and the bathroom on the back side of it. And again, that's all documented in code and needs to be inspected. So I brought everybody downstairs to show some of the drain pipes for the toilet and the bathroom upstairs, along with our HVAC. I had the HVAC installed by a local company. They did a great job. So in front of us is an air handler, and up here is the HRV. So that's a heat exchange unit. So that HRV is code as houses get more airtight these days and things get sealed up better. You need to bring some fresh air inside, and then warm air from your house goes outside. So instead of blowing perfectly warm air outside, those two mix inside this unit, and it'll pull some of that heat out of the air that goes out, and it will preheat some of the air coming in. And it's just one more thing to provide fresh air and save on some heating costs. So that is the HRV, a heat recovery unit. So here's the air handler. It's basically a big blower motor and a rad inside. So the rad is like in front of a car. It's going to take a propane boiler that's going to hang on the wall. It's going to pump hot water through that rad, and then that blower is going to blow all of the hot air through the house, through all the ductwork. So I had all that designed from a company out of town, and then it was installed from a local company. So I can go over a lot of the HVAC later once I get into it. There's still a boiler to install. There's piping for the in-floor heat, and that'll all be in another video. And then here we have all the waste line. It goes all the way around, and it's going to go into the house, and then it's going to get from the basement, it's going to get pumped out to the septic field with all the drainage from the house. I wanted everything kind of tucked in the back here and up against the wall to save more space in the garage. And I'm going to end up building a mechanical room out around this and keep it all tucked in. And then everything up here on the ceiling will all have like a bulkhead. So I'll build all this down so everything's going to be concealed kind of up in the corners all the way around the garage. All the drainage will be concealed. So there's still a little bit of work to do on the drainage. I pressure tested it. It's all good. It has to be secured a little bit more. But other than that, there's not much more to do down here except get the heating system set up, finish a little bit of framing, and then get the drywall in. So I'm not too worried about that. I'll wait till the summer comes around for that. Of course, I have to finish off a lot of that before we move in upstairs, but I want to wait till it warms up. Once I was able to have all the plumbing done, I was able to have spray foam come in. I decided to go with a flash and bat system for spray foam. We have the continuous rigid insulation on the outside of the house, but in this case we chose to go with a 2-inch on the inside as well. This creates a very tight seal. It seals everything up. On a 2x6, 2 inches of this is spray foam, and then I'm going to put in a 2x4 insulation bat in here, and that is just going to amplify the insulation value. So these walls are going to have an insulation value total of R31 or R32, where a typical 2x4 studded wall has between 20 and 24. And your R value is your resistance for heat transfer, which is your insulation value. So the higher the R value, the less heat transfer you get. So you'll notice in the walls, I mentioned it's R31. Up in the attic, I rented a blow-in insulation machine from Home Depot. So we have strapping and then vapor barrier. And on top of all that vapor barrier is loose cellulose blown-in insulation. So the cellulose is not that pink stuff over there in the back. That is pink fiberglass. You can blow in fiberglass. It uses a similar machine, similar principle, but the cellulose is actually like a ground up newspaper. It's 85% recycled content between newspaper and cardboard and that sort of stuff. So with a bunch of fire retardant added to it. So you buy all these bags, you pop them in the machine. Was able to run the hose up. So it's kind of a 2-person job. You got somebody down on the ground running the machine, and then I was up in the attic blowing it in. So the headspace up top between here is about 20 inches, and then it goes up to closer to almost 3 feet. So I wasn't able to slide my way down there. So you can see we have a joint in the vapor barrier. So I was able to vapor barrier half of the roof and then blow all that in, and then take a day to vapor barrier this side and then blow in the rest. So in total, this took 100 bags of 25-pound bags to blow in. And it has an R value of 50. So like I just mentioned, the walls, all said and done, they'll be R31. But of course, the way heat rises up, your heat loss is primarily going to be out of your ceiling. So you go to an R50 or an R60, depending on your climate zone. And then, of course, the plastic, not only is the plastic there to hold the cellulose in, but you'll hear a vapor barrier. This vapor barrier is a continuous plastic, and you'll see all the way around the edge. There's a black tar-like caulking that goes in there, and that creates an air seal. So that is an acoustic seal. Like taking a Pepsi can out of the fridge in the summer, you'll get all that condensation on the outside of the can. That is because hot is meeting cold. The warm, damp air is all expanded. It is cooling down, and it's condensating all that moisture to a surface. So anyway, if you put the vapor barrier up there, you help prevent that moisture travel throughout your house. On the walls, if you have a minimum of 2 inch of insulation, you don't need vapor barrier. So that's just another plus with spray foam insulation. Of course, it does come with the cost though. It's about 3 times more expensive to do spray foam than it is for the fiberglass or cellulose. So we just stuck to doing the walls with the 2 inches, and then the 2 inches downstairs, and then on the bottom of this floor as well to help create that air seal and that vapor barrier seal. And then everything else will be fiberglass in the walls. I'm going to start back here and try to do all these changes in order. You'll realize there used to be a staircase here that came up from downstairs, and that was just a temporary construction staircase. It got to a point though where we needed to close it in, and I didn't want to drag everything up through the main house. So we ended up taking this window out in the back and put a patio door. And now we have a deck on the back with some stairs. But I'll start over from the house. We're starting out at the stone house. You can see the stone. That's a temporary door to get into the house. Close everything off for the winter. So you come through the hallway. You can see we have the nice cathedral ceilings. And then we got this bedroom here on the right. So this bedroom here has the closet, and then it has some storage space up top. Across the hall here we have a laundry room. We decided to move all of our laundry upstairs, keep everything up close to the bedrooms. So I'm actually excited for that, save carrying stuff up and down for no reason. So we come down the hallway and we just have our nice front window here. You can see the snow. We got a whole bunch of snow earlier this week. We're up to about 16 inches of snow in 24 hours or so. So that was a little bit eventful for around here. So this area here is probably just gonna be a little playroom for the kids. Maybe set up a couple couches and their toys and stuff, and they can just hang out here if they want to get away from the parents for a little bit. And on this side we have another kids room. So we got a closet on this side. This room here is going to be the master bedroom. So you got my little closet over here, and then where the staircase was, that is now turned into a walk-in closet. And over on this side is going to be the master bath. We have a vanity over here. So here we're going to have the tub. I'm very excited to have this huge shower wall that works out to be close to 12 feet tall, but I'm not looking forward to tiling all that. So as of right now, tongue and groove is going in on the ceiling. As you can see, I got the master bedroom to do. I got the front hallway to do. Got quite a bit of work to finish up the ceiling, but that is a work in progress. So that is the current project right now. So I've already started. I've probably got about 40% of it done. Hopefully I'll get the camera set up and take you along for that. And once that is finished, we will go into the drywall stage. Some of these stages I haven't quite planned out yet. If I'm doing it, if I want to hire some of it out. We will see how the time constraints go. Right now I'm planning for a June finish of this area. For no other reason than that just seems like a good target. If there's no date given, sometimes things can drag on, so that's kind of the date I've given myself to keep up with that and try to finish for then. And we'll go from there. So anyway, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you checking it out. I hope this is interesting. Hopefully I keep up with some more videos. Again, you know, if you're liking these videos, just hit the subscribe button. That's an easy way to show me that you're interested, you're engaged, you know, you want to see more of these. Of course, you know, as these subscribers go up, it definitely gives me more incentive to get this camera out and keep on top of things. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next video.